62%. This is the number of Scots who voted to remain a member of the EU in 2016. Compare that to only 48% of English Remainers, and the difference is quite stark. Ever since the Brexit referendum, the debate on Scottish independence has only grown more fierce, and one of the main talking points is whether an independent Scotland could rejoin the EU. Many argue that Scotland was a member of the EU until 2020, so the process of rejoining should be quick and easy. But is this really the case? We see three main challenges to a possible Scottish membership bid. Firstly, there's the issue of the border between Scotland and England, one country in the EU and the other out. Scotland would be part of the EU's single market, which would mean that goods and services would need to be checked for compliance with EU regulations at the border. This will create complications and potential issues such as trade disruptions, increased bureaucracy, and the need for physical infrastructure such as border checkpoints. Scotland could also be part of the Schengen area, where EU citizens have the right to move freely within the EU, and non-EU citizens do not. In theory, we would need immigration controls along the border, spelling the end of the common travel area between Northern Ireland, Scotland, and the rest of the UK. Obviously, opt-outs can be ensured, but this requires extensive negotiation. One only needs to look at the border arrangement between Northern Ireland and Ireland, which has been in hot dispute for years. Secondly, the EU needs to agree to Scotland membership unanimously. This means Scotland needs to secure approval from every single EU member state before it can become a full-fledged EU member. And this is no small feat. Some member states have their own separatist movements, like Spain, who are wary that Scottish EU membership might encourage Catalonian independence. And thirdly, as an obligation of EU membership, Scotland might have to make a commitment towards joining the euro. This is remarkably unpopular in Scotland, with only 18% of public support. Additionally, the Scottish National Party has vowed Scotland will not join the euro in the future. Of course, we realize that Scotland leaving the UK is a debate in itself, and Fredo, a friend and fellow creator, has made a good video on that.
Scotland voted to remain part of the UK 8 years ago, but independence is still an active topic of debate. Find out why by watching my video, Scottish Independence, the 5-minute guide.
So back to our opinion, will an independent Scotland be able to rejoin the EU quickly? Our team is actually split on what we think on this one. On the one hand, Scotland joining the EU quickly might require lots of special agreements and opt-outs, and the EU might not have the appetite for dealing with another difficult veto-friendly member just yet. On the other hand, the EU has voiced its willingness in the past to take on an independent Scotland into the Union. Most of the opt-outs and special arrangements were already in place when the UK was part of the EU, so they could theoretically be reinstated. It would also be a massive image win for the EU. The only country that left the EU then breaks into two, with one side rejoining. With whom do you agree though? Make sure to find the poll in our community post or comment below. Please like this video and subscribe. And if you want to support the channel further, please consider signing up to Patreon. Until next time.